हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाय नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धेर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वतीपतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina masthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvastitaha nachamasthani bhutani pashyame yogameshwaram. Bhagwan tells Arjuna that I pervade in this whole world and the entire world exists in me. But I am not in this world and the world is not in me. See, when we experience the world, it is pervaded by the Supreme Reality only. But when we recognize that Supreme Reality, in that Swarupa of that Supreme, there is no world. So there is something called Swarupa and then Rupa. Rupa means different forms, different expressions. And Swarupa is its essential nature. So the essential nature remaining one, it expresses in variety of forms. Just like sugar, it is sweet, but it can be expressed in different types of sweets. Mithai. Variety of mithais are there, especially in our country. You find a variety of mithais. But what is common in all those mithais is this sugar. So sugar itself expresses as this various mithais. Similarly, that one Brahma alone expresses as this world and also as the seer of the world. So I, the seer of this world, am Brahma, and this world is also Brahma. And this we have to realize. First we have to know it properly and have that full conviction, and through our sadhana have to realize this truth. So Bhagavan says, those who understand my supreme nature and they do their karma, upasana, then they progress on their spiritual path and ultimately attain me. But those who don't know me, they disregard me. So devotees worship Bhagavan in various ways. First, we have to understand Bhagavan's supreme nature and worship him. Different devotees worship him ekatvena, prathatvena, bahudha vishvato mukham, considering, meditating only on that one supreme reality, that Brahma. Or meditating and worshipping the different expressions of Brahma as the different devatas. Or they worship Ishvara, seeing him in the entire creation. So whether we worship him ekatvena, prathatvena, vishvato mukham, we are worshipping that Ishvara alone, because he alone is there in every action, in every upasana, in every yajna. Bhagavan says, I am there in yajna, I am the offering which is made, I am the aushadhi, the medicine, I am the mantra, I am the fire, and I am that full sacrifice, that entire karma. So we can worship Ishvara in different ways. Worshipping is a way of tuning with Ishvara, connecting with Ishvara. With our body, we do seva. With our speech, we chant his name. We sing his glories. with our feelings, we develop that love for Ishvara. With the help of our intellect, we try to understand the supreme nature of Ishvara. So, through all the equipments, we tune ourselves with Ishvara, and in this way, when we do the sadhana, we will attain Ishvara, we will attain moksha. So, Bhagwan mentioned that he alone is there in Yajna. Now Bhagwan is revealing some more of his vibhutis in the following shlokas. So shloka number 17 we will chant. Pitahamasya jagatah mata dhata pitamaha vedyam pavitram omkarah riksama yajurevacha. Bhagwan says that Pita aham asya jagatah, that I am the father of this entire creation. I am the father. Pita. I have given birth to this entire creation. But what about the mother? Only father cannot give birth. Who is the mother? Bhagwan says, I myself am the mother of this whole world. Pita hamasya jagatah mata. So Bhagwan alone is our mata and pita. He is the parent, the father and mother of this entire creation. The whole creation is expressed as the child of Bhagwan. The whole material world as well as all the beings are like the child of Bhagwan. Bhagwan is the father, Bhagwan is the mother. So just as our parents, they are there taking care of us, nourishing us, guiding us, protecting us. All the time they are there. They never they forgive us for all our shortcomings, for all our sins. They always think good of us. So Ishvara is our father and mother, an eternal father and mother. See, the worldly, our father, mother, they don't remain with us all the time. Their blessings are there, no doubt, but they can't be there with us all the time. And in every birth we have a new set of parents. But Ishvara is our parent, is our father and mother all the time. When we are alive, after we die, if we go to some other loka, if we are born in some other form, Ishvara is always with us. He is our father. He is our mother. Therefore, we worship Ishvara as the Devata. We worship Ishvara as Shakti also. Ishvara alone is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. The creator, the one who sustains, in whom everything gets dissolved, is Ishvara. Ishvara alone is the Shakti who controls and manages this whole world. Ishvara alone is Ganesha Rupa who blesses us, removes all our obstacles. So Ishvara is the father and the mother, Shiva and Shakti, Dev and Devi of this entire world. And just as our parents are present in us, see, this body which we have has come from our parents only. They give birth, they nourish, they protect. Similarly, this entire creation has come from Ishvara. Ishvara alone is the what you call the Nimitta Karan as well as the Upadan Karan of this world. Technically speaking, Upadan means the material which go to make a particular thing is called the Upadan. Like suppose this pot is there, so the clay is the Upadan Karan of this pot. But clay, if suppose there is clay, then with that clay pot is made. So clay itself becomes the pot. But the clay is inert. Clay by itself cannot become the pot. So there must be a pot maker who converts the clay into a pot. So the pot maker is called the Nimitta Karan, efficient cause. And the clay is called Upadan Karan, material cause. So Ishvara alone is the efficient cause as well as the material cause of this world. Ishvara alone expresses as Hiranyagarbha, and Ishvara alone expresses as the mind and intellect and ahankar of Hiranyagarbha as well as the Tanmatras. So the Tanmatras and mind, intellect, etc. becomes the material with which the whole world gets created. But who converts this material into this world? That Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha itself gives birth to Vaishvanara, and that Vaishvanara converts the material into this world. But the beauty is that even when it gets converted, the cause always remains. The effect is cause only in a different form. When we say a pot, the pot is nothing but clay in a different form, in a particular form. So what is that form? What is that pot? It's just a form which doesn't have a separate existence. It is just a form which is expressed through our words. It is a form which depends on words. Therefore the scriptures, Upanishads say, Vacharambanam. Vacharambanam vikaro namadhyeyam mrittikitteva satyam. In Chandogya Upanishad, the same example of a pot and clay is taken. That the clay, when it becomes a pot, that pot is just a name. It is just a form depending on name. It doesn't, there is no existence of it. What exists is only clay. Clay alone exists. The form and name are just words used for our interaction. Similarly, this entire world is Brahma only. But what about the mountain, the river, the trees? They are just different forms of Brahma and their names are there, but their essential nature is Brahma only. So that is conveyed here. Bhagavan says, I am the Pita and I am the Mata of this world. By saying Pita, Bhagavan conveys that he is the Nimitta Karan, efficient cause of this world. And saying Mata, Bhagavan says, I am the material cause, the Upadan Karan of this world. So Pitahamasya Jagataha Mata Dhata. Bhagavan says, I am the Dhata also. Dhata means the giver of the results of our karma. Karma phalasya pranibhyo vidhata. Variety of jivas are there. And all of them, they perform different types of karma depending on their own samskars. So karma is performed at a particular time with particular efficiency, and the result comes in future. So how does the result come? Just like that? No. Bhagavan alone is there to give the result. So through the various devtas, through Vaishvanara, Bhagavan alone, Vaishvanara alone, through Vaishvanara and other devtas, Bhagavan alone gives the results. So he is the Dhata of this world. So Pita, Mata, Dhata. But who is Bhagavan's father? Bhagavan says, I myself am my father also. So Pitamaha. Bhagavan alone is Pitamaha also. Means Ishvara is the Mata Pita of this world. But Ishvara is that Brahma only, the Shuddha Nirgun Brahma. So that Brahma is Pitamaha. Ishvara is Mata Pita. And Ishvara alone nourishes all beings, gives them the karma phala through Vaishvanara and other devatas. So Pitahamasya Jagataha Mata Dhata Pitamaha. So one can worship Ishvara through this relationship of taking him as our father, as our mother, as our grandfather. See, when we live in this world, we have so many our relatives. Our parents are there, our brothers, sisters, our uncles, aunties, our other neighbors and friends. And depending on our relationship, those type of emotions get expressed. When we meet a friend, a friendly emotion gets expressed. When we meet our parents, other type of emotion of devotion, of seva gets expressed. So all these beautiful emotions which are there, like love, compassion, friendship, kindness, gentleness, or forgiveness, all these emotions are there within us, and they get expressed through various relationships in this world. But upasana or bhakti is to develop that relationship with Ishvara. Depending on our own inclination, we can consider Ishvara as our father, as our mother, as our friend, as our grandfather, or even as our husband, as our wife, as our child, as our beloved, as our lover. Various ways we can consider Ishvara and express our love for him. Just as we express love for another human being, we can take Ishvara also as a human being, means in a human form, but that's Sakshat Ishvara, and express our love. So here Bhagwan himself has said that I am the father, the mother, the protector, and the grandfather of this entire world. So nobody should feel themselves to be orphaned, should not feel alone, should not feel lonely, should not feel that we don't have friends, we don't have parents, we don't have relatives, we don't have a guru, because all this role can be played by Ishvara. मेरे तो गिरिधर गोपाल दूसरो न कोई रे. Mirabai considered Bhagwan as her husband. Tulsidas ji considered Bhagwan as his das, as his master, and himself as a das. That I am the das of Bhagwan. Hanumanji also considered himself as das of Bhagwan, sevak. Arjuna considered Bhagwan his sakha. Dashrath Maharaj, Kaushalya consider Bhagwan as their child. Many people worship Bhagwan as a child, like Krishna, Bal Krishna. So Pitahamasya Jagataha Mata Dhata Pitamahaha. And Ishvara alone is Vedyam. Bhagwan says, I am Vedyam. Vedyam means I alone should be known. In the 15th chapter also, Bhagwan will mention there about how he is there in our own heart. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishtaha matta smriti jnanamapohanancha vedaischa sarvairahameva vidyaha vedanta krit veda videva chaham. 15th chapter, 15th verse. Bhagwan says, Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vidyaha. In all the Vedas, I am the Vedya, I should be known. You should know me. That is your ultimate goal and agenda. You should know me. In the 13th chapter, Bhagwan will tell us that through this world, when you know the world, when you know yourself, you will know me. Knowledge of world is called Kshetra. And the one who is experiencing the world is called Kshetrajna. So Bhagwan says, Kshetra Kshetrajna Yojnanam Yattat Jnanam Matam Mama. The knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetrajna itself is my knowledge. If you know the secret of the Kshetra and Kshetrajna, you will know me. So through this world and through our own self, we have to recognize that Ishvara. So Vedyam is the Vedya. Because knowing Ishvara alone, we become free. But how can we know Ishvara? Who will guide us? The Vedas, they guide us. So Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Samaved, Atharva Ved, they guide us and give us this knowledge. So Rig Sama Yajur Cha, Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Samaved, Atharva Ved, all these Vedas, they guide us, they teach us, give us that Brahma Vidya. And how do they guide us? With the help of all these mantras. And what is the essence of all the mantras? Om. So Bhagavan says, Pavitram Omkaraha. That Omkar, that Pavitra Omkar, the supremely pure Omkar is myself only. Through this Om, you can know me. See, just as I said about this clay. So the clay alone is there, which appears like a pot. We have given a name pot to this structure, which is nothing but clay. The Swarupa of this is clay, but the Rupa is a pot. The Rupa has got name as a pot. Similarly, this entire world is expression of that Brahma. And everything in this world has got a name. But the essence of all these names is Om. So Om is all the name, and Om itself is all the form, because the name and form are not different. So Omkar itself is all the names, and Omkar itself is all the forms. So Omkar is the world. Omkar itself is the knower of the world, and Omkar itself is Brahma. So taking support of Om, we can realize that Brahma. So Om is the different expressions of that Om, but it is one complete Omkara Roop only. Similarly, this we have seen that what we call Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara are different expressions, but that Om is that Brahma, which is our own self. So Bhagavan says, Vedyam Pavitram Omkaraha. Even if we don't understand the entire meaning of this Om, the depth of this Om, with the deep reverence and devotion when we chant Om, slowly and steadily by Bhagavan's blessings, that Omkar itself will reveal its own secret to us. Tad japaha tadarthava bhavanam. One should do japa of that Om and contemplate on its meaning. So as we do the chanting, that Omkar itself will reveal itself to us. Tulsidas ji, he gives this example in the Ramayana. He says, when you chant Bhagwan's name, as you continue chanting, that name itself will reveal its secret to you. Jimimol Ratanate, just as a precious jewel is there, when we keep worshipping, keep looking at it and revering it, slowly and steadily its value will be known to us. Its value will get revealed to us. Similarly, when we chant Bhagwan's name, Om or Ram, 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 the beauty of that Ram will get revealed to us. So it is the most pavitra, pavitram omkaraha. Bhagwan says, I am that omkar. So when we chant Om, Bhagwan alone expresses on our tongue, in our mind, because when we chant, the Vani is not only at the level of our tongue, but it is there in our mind, it is there in the very depth, and it is one with our own self. So, Vedyam Pavitram Omkaraha Rik Sama Yajurevacha. Bhagwan says, I am the Rigved, Samaved, Yajurved, and Cha means also Atharva Ved. So all these four Vedas, they teach us about Bhagwan. These Vedas, I had mentioned this before, but let me repeat. The Vedas are Anadi, Ananta, Apaurusheya. Anadi means beginningless. They are not created in time, they are always there. Just as Ishvara is beginningless, eternal, just as Brahma is eternal, Vedas are eternal, because Vedas are not different from Brahma. So they are Anadi, Ananta, infinite, vast. What is available is only a fraction of the Vedas. Vedas are vast, infinite. Anadi Ananta Apaurusheya. They are not creation of any being. They are not the product of human intellect or even the intellect of Devatas or Rishis. They are Apaurusheya. They are the direct expression of that Brahma only, not a product of any intelligence. Therefore, Vedas are flawless, free from all defects, and Vedas, there are no contradictions, and they are meant for the blessings of everyone. Even the Devatas, they take support of the Vedas. Even Hiranyagarbha, Vaishvanara take support of the Vedas. Human beings, they take support of the Vedas. And whatever is required for us at any given time, the Vedas, they guide us. Of course, as we go into deeper and deeper Kali Yuga, the Vedas will start becoming disappearing. Will not be available. But again, when the Satya Yuga comes, again the Vedas will become manifest through some rishis, through some beings. So Vedas are quite amazing. Just like the sun and the moon, we have not created. They have come from that Brahma. Similarly, the Vedas have also come from Brahma. So Bhagavan says, I am the Vedas. Vedyam pavitram omkaraha riksama yajurevacha. Again in the following verse, Bhagavan gives some more vibhutis. Gater bharta prabhu sakshi nivasa sharanam suhrata prabhava pralayasthanam Nidhanam bijam avyayam. Bhagavan says that I am the Gati. Gati means the karma phala. See, when the jivas they perform any karma, depending on our karma, we get the phala. Huh? We get our another birth. So we have become human, that is also our gati, our result of our karma, of our past. And whatever karmas we do now, we will get the gati accordingly in future. Though the ultimate paramagati is to attain that Ishvara, but whatever we attain is also expression of that Ishvara alone. So he is the gati of all beings. Ishvara is there everywhere. He is present everywhere. So he is the gati of all the beings. Gati hi. Bharta. Bhagwan is the Bharta, means the one who nourishes everyone. Sabka bharan poshan karne wale. Nourishes everyone. Human beings, they require different type of nourishments. The Devtas require different nourishment. The ancestors require different nourishment. The Rishi Munis require different type of nourishment. The birds, animal, plants, they require different type of nourishments. Bhagwan is there nourishing everyone. See, if you observe this world, this earth, and the various types of beings who are there, you will be amazed at how all these beings live in different conditions. Some are there deep in the earth, some are there in the ocean, some are on this earth at different climatic conditions, in snow, in arid regions, on the mountains, in the valleys. Variety of beings are there. And Bhagwan is there nourishing all of them. It's quite amazing. When the little one is born, it knows where it will get its nourishment. You see some animals and all, when they give birth, the baby is just born, but it just somehow stands and seeks that udder of the mother to take the milk. It knows. It knows what is the food, what is the nourishment for them. The different creatures, the snakes and the lizards and the birds and animals, they just know where is their food available, and they eat. So Bhagwan is there nourishing everyone. Gatihi Bharta. Prabhu, he is the Prabhu, Swami, the master of this entire creation. He is the Lord. He is the owner. He alone is the master. Because everything has come from Ishvara alone. So he is the Prabhu. All the Devatas and everyone worships that same Ishvara. All beings, they worship that Ishvara. Even Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha worships that Ishvara. Ishvara is the ultimate Prabhu. In Bhagavad there is a story that Naradji He is the son of Brahmaji, the creator. So Naradji does namaskar to his father and he says that you are the great creator of this world, you are the ultimate, you are the supreme. His father says, no, I am not the supreme. The supreme is greater than me. That supreme Ishvara. So he is the Prabhu, the Lord, the Master. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi. Bhagwan is the Sakshi, the witness. The witness of all that is happening in this entire world. He witnesses everyone. Praninam krita kritasya. All that we do, Bhagwan is the witness. Even the little creatures, whatever they are doing, Bhagwan witnesses them all. There is a story in the Ramayana about the squirrel. So all these monkeys were building that bridge, laying the stones to make that bridge across the ocean towards Lanka, to go to Lanka. So all of them were working. So there was one squirrel who also felt that I should also do seva of Bhagwan. So monkeys were huge and strong. They used to bring big boulders and mountains and lay it on that ocean. But this squirrel was so tiny. So it used to pick up little pebbles and put them in the ocean and help in the making of that bridge. So one monkey saw that and just made fun of that squirrel, that you are putting this little pebbles, what is the use? So Bhagwan noticed that and he picked up that squirrel, told that monkey, don't say like this. I notice the work of each and every being. So Bhagwan held the squirrel in his hand and patted that squirrel with lot of affection, lot of love. So whatever we do, Bhagwan notices. He is the Sakshi. He is the Sakshi of the waking. See, when we are awake, we seem to know everything. When we when we sleep and we dream, we become unaware of the waking. When we are in deep sleep there is no waking, there is no dream. And there is no thinking, feeling, nothing happens there. There is no doing or not doing. There is no knowing or not knowing. There is no enjoying or not enjoying in deep sleep. But that is also witnessed by Ishvara. So Ishvara is the Sakshi of every action of all the beings. Praninam krita kritasya Sakshi. Nivasaha. Bhagwan is the Nivasaha. Nivas means the place in which all beings they reside. Yasmin pranino nivasanti. Bhagwan is the great home of all the beings. Everyone resides in Bhagwan. Just like on our body, so many microbes and virus and bacteria and all, they live on our body. These viruses and all are so tiny, don't even notice them. We are trying to protect ourselves from this COVID and all, but these viruses are very tiny, and they survive living on other living beings. So they are there on our body. So many different types of beings are there. Our body is like a residence of these creatures. Similarly, all of us are residing in Bhagwan. He is our home, Nivasaha. Nivasaha yasmin pranino nivasanti. Sharanam, Bhagwan is Sharanam, means the ultimate refuge of those who are suffering, those who are sad, those who are sorrowful. They seek refuge, and Bhagwan is the ultimate refuge. Artanam prapannanam artiharaha. Those who surrender to Him due to their suffering, Bhagwan removes their suffering. He is the remover of all our sorrow, our pain, our tragedy, our fears. Ultimately, He alone removes all these sufferings from all beings. So, Artanam Prapannanam Artiharaha Sharanam. He is the Sharanam. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So Bhagwan is the ultimate Sharanam. Suhrat. Suhrat means Prati Upkaran Upkaranapekshah San Upakari. Means who does upakar, who obliges, who does good of everyone without expecting anything in return. That is Bhagwan's compassion, His karuna. See, we may do good work and do a lot of punya karma and all, but our karmas are very, very less in front of all the blessings which are poured on us by Ishvara. We cannot compare. I read a story this recent times that one person who was admitted in the hospital for this COVID, and it became very serious, so he was put on that ventilator. So 4 or 5 days he was on ventilator, but slowly he improved and he became all right. So the doctors gave him the bill, and when he saw the bill he was very shocked. It was a huge amount, some few lakhs, and the doctor had written that 5 days of ventilator cost this much, the room cost this much, the medicine cost this much, the fees are this much. So all this bill was given to him. So when he saw that, he started crying, elderly person. So the doctor felt very bad. Doctor said, okay, we will reduce the amount, you don't have to cry. He said, no, I am not crying because I cannot pay. I have money, I can pay you. But I am crying because that thought came to my mind that 4 or 5 days I used the ventilator for breathing and it has cost so much. And from my birth till now, I have been using the air freely and breathing regularly, did not realize the the amount of benefit I took from this, and I have never even thanked Bhagwan for this. I have been so ungrateful, using all this without even thanking. So I am crying and understanding my own foolishness. So this is a very beautiful story which tells us that how much we get from Ishvara at every step, which we don't earn. We cannot say that nahi nahi mere punya ka phal hai. Punyas are not so much to give all this result. All this comes by Bhagwan's blessings only. So we should be very grateful. We should feel very grateful towards Bhagwan and thank him. Means feel that sense of gratefulness in the heart, thankfulness in the heart. So Bhagwan says, I am the Suhrat of all beings, I am the friend, I am the well-wisher of all beings. That is the nature of Bhagwan. That is how he is. Ishvara is our constant companion. From beginningless time, he is there with us as a friend. In the Upanishad also it is said, Dva suparna sayuja sakaya samanam vriksham parishashvajate. There, Jiva and Ishvara are like sakhas, friends. They are there on the same body. One keeps on enjoying the good and bad, the sukha and dukkha, but another remains as a witness. And whenever we shift our attention from all our enjoyment and look at this witness, we become free from all our bondage. So Prabhava Sakshi Nivasam Nivasahas Sharanam Surata. Then Bhagwan alone is Prabhavaha, Pralayaha, Sthanam. Prabhava, from whom the entire creation has come into existence, who has given birth to this entire creation. Utpattihi Jagataha. Prabhavaha. Just as from the clay the pot comes into manifestation, similarly from that Ishvara alone this whole world has come into manifestation. And everything exists in him and everything again merges back into him. See, samsara is only not understanding all this play. When you understand, you are free. When you don't understand, you are bound. The difference between suffering and enjoyment is only that understanding. Vidya and avidya creates all the difference. When we have avidya, we are bound. When we have vidya, we are free. If we look at it in one way, we are bound. If we look at another way, we are free. That way we are always free. If you look at the sun, it is all bright and brilliant. If you look away from the sun, it's all shadow. If we look away from Ishvara, we are bound. If we look at Ishvara, we are free. In the Ramayana also, Bhagwan tells that those jivas who come to approach me, they surrender to me, they look at me, they become free. सो प्रभवः, सब कुछ भगवान से प्रकट हो गया है. प्रभवः, प्रलयः, everything again merges back into Bhagwan. Sthanam, and everything exists in Bhagwan. So Utpatti, Sthiti, Laya, creation, sustenance and dissolution, everything happens in that Ishvara alone. So Prabhavaha, Pralayah, Sthanam, Nidhanam, and all our karmas, they reside in Ishvara, which will give us result in future. All our samskars, all our karmas also reside in Bhagwan only. He is the very place where everything exists, even our karmas exist. So even with the pralaya, our karmas don't get destroyed. Again when the utpatti happens, again we are born and we get the result of our karma. But when we become free, then there is no more karma bandhan for us. So Bhagwan is the Nidhanam and Bijam Avyayam, and he is the eternal seed of the entire creation. Everything has come from Ishvara. Not only the totality, but individually also, everyone's seed is Ishvara. But it is not a seed which gets destroyed, it is the eternal seed. Because without the seed, nothing grows. If a tree is growing, it must be growing from the seed only. So if every being are growing and living in this world, they must be having that seed, that Mula Samskar, that is also Bhagwan's roop only. So Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. So all this are Bhagavad Rupa, is Vibhutis, very beautifully expressed here. More we will see in our class tomorrow. I hope all of you are fine with these classes. Some people, they expressed that they are unable to attend classes regularly and want some more chutti. So you can give me your feedback, then accordingly we can plan. But for now, tomorrow we will meet and continue with our class. So till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. Do your work, do your sadhana, and we meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Boli Syavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।